I step, something in my jeans. FOI, you know that's the team, huh?
Peace. This is your brother Aidan X, and welcome to the processing class. Some people watching this, they may be dealing with what you just talked about now. Why is that such a bad thing? Smoking, it comes from the earth. As people would say, why was this beneficial in your life to give this up once you registered in the nation?
Without giving too long of an answer, because that's so
You can give as long as you like.
Yes, sir. But the weed, as I'm sure you could imagine or you may have witnessed, it can be endless back and forth with the people who will say that it's natural and it has these benefits, this and that. The reason I would say, and the same reason that the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan has said, for those who didn't know, because he also used to smoke weed. Because again, we're not angels that just fell down out of the sky. One, the clarity is necessary. You can't, especially during this very serious hour that we're in, you can't be drunk, high, inebriated off of whatever it is. You know what I mean? You have to have a clear focus. And when I would say that to some of my my homies, my associates during that time, they would it's always like the defensive response, when you're really attached to something. And that's really what it is, just being honest. I won't even say addicted. I'm gonna just say attached, just to put it that way. But you defend it, and they would say to me, well, sometimes I'm more focused when I smoke, and I can still, what you get a lot of too is I could still do this and I could still do that, but you don't even know what you can't do until you've gone without it, and really start to exercise your mind outside of that state. And I'm so thankful to Allah that I was able to, that I did listen to that voice, that messenger of Allah that's within us, and not shut him up and start to go away from the smoking weed. Because once you're doing it daily and it's just a ritual, you really it's another way of life at that point. You don't realize what it's like when you're not smoking all the time and when you're not in that state, if you let it get to that point. And that's why some people do get addicted and don't even realize. But yeah, the clarity, smoking weed is completely different from using the herb in any other way, in a tea or whatever other medicinal aspect that can be done with the plant itself. But rolling it up in a backwood and whatever type of leaf, paper, it don't matter, putting fire to it and smoking it, that's not what we need right now.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Some people watching this, they may agree with what you said, about the weed and everything, but they may ask, how in the hell did you have the strength to give it up? So I want to ask you, what part of the teachings and how did the teachings make it easy, or if it wasn't easy, how did it make you give that up? If it did,
I can give credit to the teachings.
Yeah.
And but it was half, Islam was half of it, and the other half was just sheer will. You know what I mean? Because it's like, what do you want to do? What do you really want to do? So when I was studying, like when I had Message to the Black Man and I was getting more interest in the teachings of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, before I even had the thought to actually register, I was still smoking. It was lessened at that point, but occasionally I would still do it. And, when I had actually got to the point where I was like wanting to go to the mosque and like I had probably because I'm trying to think right now like when the last time was I actually smoked like on my timeline here of coming into the teachings. I know I had been to a mosque once before, and like maybe I would say a month or 2 months before, because I know that it was like in the fall, and I was with one of my friends. I had smoked for the last time, didn't like it. I only, I only smoked because he was smoking. I hit it a couple times, and I was like, yeah, you know what? I'm officially tired of this feeling. I want to be clear minded. I want to have complete, that God thought process where I can speak the way I want to speak, react, you know, and like we're made to react. No sluggishness, no confusion, you know, munchies, all of that. It's like I don't like this feeling anymore. I don't care for it. And yeah. And it was the reason I say I would give half of that credit to the teachings and half of it to my will is because I knew what I was coming into and that I was much more satisfied with that and happier with that than I was with that other lifestyle. And I knew that was something that I wouldn't be able to hold on to if I did want to actually register and come in, which I was thinking of doing at that time. Um, and just like I said, just other than that, knowing that it wasn't ever meant for me, you know what I mean? It's a distraction. It inhibits you. So that's what I would say to that.